Hey there, folks. Imagine this. A beloved conservative voice, silenced forever in a shocking act of violence, only for a sitting member of Congress to dance on his grave with venomous words that echo through the halls of power. That's right. We're diving headfirst in the firestorm surrounding Ilhan Omar's explosive comments on Charlie Kirk's tragic death, a scandal that's got the nation buzzing with outrage and calls for accountability. If you're ready for the unfiltered truth about hate, hypocrisy, and high-stakes security threats, buckle up. This is Zone Media Network, and I'm your host, Griffin, broadcasting straight from the heart of American Zone. Today, we're unpacking the repulsive rhetoric from Omar, the backlash that's shaken her own party, and the chilling incident at Kirk's memorial that has everyone on high alert. Stick around because by the end, you'll see why this isn't just politics. It's a battle for the soul of America, and trust me, you won't want to miss a single detail. Let's set the stage properly, because this story didn't erupt in a vacuum. Charlie Kirk, the founder of Turning Point USA, was a titan in conservative circles, a husband, a father, a relentless advocate for freedom, faith, and the American dream. His life was cut short in a horrifying assassination while he was out there, boldly sharing his views with the public. The nation was still reeling from the shock, mourning a man who inspired millions through his podcasts, speeches, and unyielding commitment to truth. But barely 24 hours after his passing, Ilhan Omar, the controversial Democratic congresswoman from Minnesota, couldn't resist twisting the knife. In a CNN interview that went viral for all the wrong reasons, she doubled down on her disdain, suggesting Kirk's legacy belongs in the dustbin of history. She even reposted a grotesque video labeling him as Dr. Frankenstein, claiming his own monster shot him through the neck. Can you believe it? The ashes weren't even settled, and here she was, spewing what many see as outright glee over a man's death. It's not just insensitive, it's downright repulsive, and it's sparking a nationwide debate about decency in politics. Now, let's break down that infamous CNN exchange with anchor Caitlin Collins, because it reveals so much about Omar's mindset. Collins pressed her on the repost. You called Kirk a hateful man at a town hall 6 days ago, and you shared this video that's drawn heavy criticism. Omar didn't back down. Instead, she fired back, insisting she agreed with parts of the video and labeling Kirk as a reprehensible, hateful man. She ranted about how he supposedly demeaned every identity she holds, Muslim, immigrant woman of color, and claimed he didn't believe people like her deserved equal access or even intellectual equality to white men. Where are we missing this conversation about who this man was? She demanded, turning the tables on Collins herself. You think I don't have a brain processing power like you or a white man? Whoa, talk about deflection. Collins tried to clarify she wasn't endorsing such views, calling them vile and reprehensible, but Omar steamrolled ahead, her voice rising in indignation. The interview devolved into chaos. Omar yelling, interrupting, and ultimately snapping under pressure. It ended abruptly, leaving viewers stunned. This was a composed leader. This was someone unraveling on live TV, exposing a raw nerve of resentment that many argue has no place in Congress. But here's where it gets even more infuriating. Omar's not just defending her words. She's playing the victim. She claims Republicans are using tactics against her, pointing to her past centuries in Congress as evidence of unfair targeting. Excuse me? This is the same woman who, on a podcast a day after Kirk's death, essentially celebrated his demise. No remorse, no empathy, just cold justification wrapped in accusations of hate from Kirk. Let me set the record straight. I've poured over countless hours of Charlie Kirk's content, his debates, his Turning Point USA events, his social media posts, and there's zero evidence of the hate Omar accuses him of. Sure, he was fierce in his convictions, challenging progressive ideologies with sharp intellect and unapologetic patriotism. He debated hot-button issues like immigration, education, and cultural values, but always with facts, not venom. People cherry-pick clips, splice them with AI trickery, and twist his words out of context to paint him as a monster. It's a smear campaign, plain and simple. Kirk didn't hate anyone. He loved America and fought to preserve its principles for all. To hear Omar dismiss his entire legacy as something to forget is not only disrespectful to his family, his grieving wife and children, but an insult to the millions who saw him as a beacon of hope. And the fallout? It's massive. Even Democrats are distancing themselves, with party members publicly calling her out for crossing the line. Her approval ratings have tanked to rock bottom, hovering near zero in some polls, and there's growing chatter about deportation rumors swirling around her citizenship status. Whether those hold water or not, one thing's clear. Omar's actions scream unfit for office. She's not representing the people. She's fueling division. I say she should be dismissed from Congress, voted out at the very least. Free speech is sacred, but it comes with consequences. Employers are firing staff who post gleeful rants about Kirk's death, labeling him a racist or fascist without basis. Why? Because most Americans reject that narrative. They know Kirk stood for unity through truth, not hate. Congress members should be held to an even higher standard. They're supposed to be our best, not our most divisive. Omar's behavior tarnishes the institution, and it's high time the voters send her packing. Shifting gears to the other bombshell in this saga, the security scare at Charlie Kirk's memorial service. Picture this. State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, gearing up for what could be one of the largest gatherings in recent history, with over 100,000 mourners expected to pay tribute. President Trump, Vice President J.D. Vance, and a who's who of conservative leaders like White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, HHS Secretary RFK Jr., Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, and DNI Tulsi Gabbard, all set to speak in honor of Kirk's enduring impact. But amid the preparations, a chilling incident unfolds. Secret Service arrests an armed man, Joshua Wells, posing as law enforcement right on the premises. He was packing a gun and a knife, claiming he was there for private security. Arizona DPS quickly charged him with felony impersonation of an officer and misdemeanor weapons violations. He's out on bond now, but investigators are digging into his background for any sinister motives. Was this a lone wolf or part of a broader threat? Law enforcement bulletins had already warned of violent extremists targeting the event, putting everyone on edge. Live reports from the ground paint a picture of fortress-level security. Roadblocks, fences, and a massive police presence ramping up by the hour. The stadium, home to the Arizona Cardinals, seats about 60,000. So overflow could spill into the nearby NHL arena for the Coyotes. It's Super Bowl security on steroids, doubled, even given the high-profile attendees and the volatile climate. Former Pinal County Sheriff Mark Lamb weighed in, noting how Trump's past visits paled in comparison to this heightened alert. We're seeing more violence and hateful rhetoric, he said, emphasizing that no chances can be taken with figures like Trump and Vance in attendance. The arrested man's story? He was supposedly sweeping for a high-profile guest, but Lamb called it fishy. Why not coordinate with Secret Service? It doesn't add up. And while facts are still emerging, it underscores the dangers lurking in our divided nation. Thankfully, authorities are sending a clear message. Anyone who chooses to break the law will be held accountable. As the Maricopa County District Attorney put it, deterrence is key, with every precaution in place to ensure safety. This memorial isn't just a farewell. It's a testament to Kirk's legacy, a man who could have been president one day, according to many. His friendship with Vance gave him emotional freedom to keep fighting, and seeing 100,000 plus unite in his memory would have humbled him. It's beautiful, really, a reminder of the good he brought to the world. But in these tense times, vigilance is non-negotiable. We've learned hard lessons from recent tragedies. We can't afford more. As we wrap up this eye-opening episode, remember, stories like this highlight why we must demand better from our leaders and stay alert in uncertain times. Ilhan Omar's words expose a deep-seated bitterness that divides us, while memorial threats remind us of the fragility of peace. Charlie Kirk's spirit lives on through those he inspired. Let's honor that by seeking truth over division. Thanks for joining me on American Zone. I'm Griffin, your host. If this resonated, smash that like button. Subscribe for more hard-hitting insights. And drop your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about Omar's comments? I love you all. Take care. And I'll catch you in the next one. Stay